women's basketball head coach Jeff Jukins, jamming with Jetty, his weekly stop in to Studio B. How you doing, Jetty?
It's nice to be here, that's for sure.
So let's ask you the Twitter question. For BYU basketball, as they begin conference play on Thursday, who do you think is the Y factor?
Well, I heard you kind of talking about when Fischer scores, that really the team plays a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of their offense is geared for him, and it's tough when he's not having a good day. Who can do it? And I think Celius has come in and done a really nice job. I think he's come in and given him some outside presence. But I think to win in the conference, and you were talking about it, you've got to have a good balance. And I think they need to get inside presence. I think Davis has done a really nice job of trying to do that, but they need probably one more person that can score down low for them and get some easy baskets, especially when the jumper's not going in from the outside. And, this conference is different. People don't realize that coaches are good. They know each other. They've played against each other for a number of years, and there's little things that they can put in to really kind of affect your team, and so you have to kind of make some adjustments.
Coach, have you been a part of, or maybe even while you were playing, had some struggles like Chase where you just have that inconsistency? What are some of the things that you have done as a coach or even as a player to help overcome that?
Well, I try to tell players, like I kind of think I have one a little bit like Chase, and that's Mackenzie Morrison or Pulsifer now. And what I try to tell her, the jumper's not always going to go in, but you're more of an asset to this team than just your jump shot. Your defense, your presence, your toughness, you're moving without the ball, you taking the shot that's open, not forcing it, those kind of things. And I think that's what Fischer has to do. I think if it's not feeling it, he's still got to move hard. He's still got to do the things for his team. And by doing that, other people can really bounce back with their game. And I think he's tried to do that. I think last year, 2 years ago, when he didn't shoot the ball well, it was like, well, what's wrong with him? Now I think he's kind of done that, try to defend better, get to the basket, create other things for other players, and I think that's what's important.
Let's switch it up and ask about your team and who you think is the Y factor heading into conference play.
Boy, I probably would say it's probably my point guard, Kylie, and it's probably my inside presence. I think, Lexi and Mackenzie and Kalani, they've been consistent. It's those other two that come in and really help our starting five. Like the games that we've won, our five position has been very, very good. They've done a good job, and we have to continue having them. We kind of do it by committee. I start off Jasmine, and Jasmine has really gotten so much better. And then Amanda comes in, and now I got Orton back, and Hanks is getting better. So those are probably our Y factors, those four, how they can perform during this conference.
How were the holidays for you? Were you able to enjoy the holidays, or did the loss at San Diego sour things a bit?
It's soured.
I figured you would sour.
I don't care what you say. You think about it constantly, and you think, what could you have done? And, finals and Christmas is a tough time for a basketball team.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. It gets you out of rhythm sometimes. When you're not playing good, it's great. But when your team's playing well, it kind of gets you out of rhythm a little bit, and it affects it.
How surprised were you with that result? Having won 6 in a row, and now you did have 11 days in between, but you had won 6 in a row. You guys were really playing well. How surprising was that outcome?
San Diego's good. I mean, they're tough there. They're 11-1, and they had two players that really matched up with our two best players. They came out and they shot the lights out. They came out and hit a lot of we didn't make any stops. I mean, in the past, my teams we can go 3 or 4 possessions stopping it. We didn't do that. We had our chances. We had it down to 5 with about 4 minutes to go, and we missed some easy shots, and they came down and scored them. But we'll get them back here, I guarantee you.
Is there much that you can change when it comes to the final schedule and the holidays? Maybe be a little bit selfish and say you guys can't have any time off.
Bob humbug over here.
I'm just saying, we got to get the win, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do next year, we're not going to play before Christmas in conference next year. So I'm going to make sure I have a game before that, a game that I think that my team can come and play. I think that hurt us having 11 days off. I maybe should have scheduled the game. Dave did it, which was smart. During the Christmas, we played this tournament, and I think it'll help him. I see other schools that have done it, so that's probably what we'll try to do next year.
Jeff Judkins joining us in studio here on BYU Sports Nation. There was some good news in the USD game, and that's the play of Lexi Eaton. She became just the 5th player in BYU history to score 2,000 career points. Is it getting hard to find ways to describe just how good she is and how well she's playing for you?
Well, I think it proves it. I mean, 5 players in BYU history over 2,000 points, and I think Lexi, it's going to be hard. When I lose Lexi, it's going to be, how do you replace her? You can't replace a kid like that. She's probably, if she's not one of the top players to ever play at BYU, her name's mentioned, that's for sure. And it's going to be tough. But, I've got a little sister coming, and I think I think you'll see Fuller come in her senior year and give us that offense that we need, and some other players will really step up. The funny thing, I didn't even know until Norma told me after the game that she scored that, and then that's how Lexi was so focused in the game. She didn't even bring it up or anything. But she's a big part of our team and really playing. I think she's playing her best basketball right now.
Did you guys give her the game ball?
We haven't yet. I kind of want to maybe do it, maybe a home game that you can see right now and I can see in the thing she'll pass Thorny, and she might have a shot of passing McBride. Maybe even Hanson if we get to the NCAA tournament and can go a long ways.
Yeah, that always helps getting some extra games in. So, Coach, you guys have played a lot of road games this year. You have 6 out of your next 8 here in Provo. How much of an advantage is that having these next few games here at home?
I don't know if it's an advantage.
Or disadvantage.
Because we're going to have to go at the end of this season and be 6 on the road. I wish it was more balanced. I wish that we could get our conference where it's more balanced, the games. I've had a lot of coaches complain about it, but you just have to deal with it. You just have to move. I know we got a big weekend. If we can take care of business, we can be in a good position for our conference.
Would you rather have it the other way around? Would you rather have away games first than home games?
I think right now for us, we've been on the road so much. I think I'd like to be home for a while. So
you guys are like away
with your family.
Yeah, I think this is good for us. We've been November and part of December. We've been gone a lot, so this will be nice to get home and really get some good balance.
You've got St. Mary's coming in Thursday afternoon. It's a game that will get underway at 3:00 Eastern time on BYUtv and BYU Radio. Thoughts on the Gales? What do you see from them?
Physical, execution, tough, rebound. They've got some Australia players that are smart, crafty. Hopefully, Purcell will understand a little of that because she's from New Zealand. But, we always have a slug. I mean, last year, the 2 games were in overtime, and we went on the last-second shot in the tournament. So it's going to be a great game.
You mentioned Kalani Purcell. Did I see something that she was the New Zealand Female Athlete of the Year or something like that?
I didn't see that, but I think she's going to surprise a lot of people. And, I mean, what a great player she is, and she's just getting better every game.
You told me a couple weeks ago that of all the players you've coached, you think she's the best rebounder you've ever had.
Yeah, she's the best rebounder out of her area that I've coached, and that's including men and women. So, wow. She's 12 rebounds a game, and she just goes after it. So it's nice. It's nice to have that.
Can you use her as a recruiting tool now and say, hey, can you go back?
I think it's going to help us. I think it's going to help us with. We got another kid for next year from New Zealand. There's a young kid from New Zealand that has interest in our program because of Kalani, and there's a lot of. I think when you get these foreign players and they perform well for you, you get a lot of good looks from other people.
All right, Jetty, are you as excited as everybody else to have Ty Detmer walking around campus again?
I think it's pretty nice. I'm pretty excited. I was a big fan of his, and what I've heard, and I don't know, I heard he has a wonderful mind, understanding the game. You have to be the kind of player he was and to play as long as he did. And I'm excited for the football pro. I mean, I think it's got some good changes and got some people back that have been gone for a long time. And fun season. It'll be a fun season next year.
What do you think that does for a recruit, and maybe even more so for the current players? To have a legend amongst their presence and to be getting the feedback and the coaching from him?
Well, to have a Heisman Trophy winner walk in the home and said, "Hey, I got this at BYU," I think that's pretty impressive. And I think one thing about BYU sports is that when every team does well and everything's going great, it really helps everybody. It's not just that sport. It's like when the football team does well, it helps us in recruiting, and hopefully we help other people. And it just goes that way. And this is why it's Sports Nation. It's like everybody's all together, and let's win, and let's do the best that we can. And so it's exciting for the new changes.
Women's basketball coach Jeff Judkins joining us here on BYU Sports Nation. Jetty, great stuff as always. Appreciate the time. Good luck on Thursday.
Thanks. It'll be a big game. Hope some people will show up.